Well, it's the stuff of legends. For years, there have been reports of giant cats roaming the bush right across Victoria. Stateline has obtained amazing footage of cows covered in large scratch marks. Farmers say it's the work of a large puma-like animal. However, the Department of Natural Resources and Environment says there's no real proof that big cats exist here. And a warning, this report by Timothy Lee contains some very graphic pictures.
There's something very mysterious prowling the hills and valleys of Gippsland.
I've had cattle taken within 100 yards of the house.
People are claiming to see these big cats within 20 metres, 30 metres of the Foster Township.
Stateline has obtained exclusive footage of a herd of dairy cows attacked by an unknown animal near Yarram in South Gippsland. The owner wants to remain anonymous, but believes these wounds are distinctly large claw marks. Many in this district agree this is the hallmark of an attack by a very large cat. In the past 2 years in Gippsland alone, there have been more than 50 recorded sightings of such an animal.
Just going to the Melbourne Zoo in the last sort of 12 months, it looked like a puma, a black puma or panther, a round-eared shaped cat basically, so, and a big one at that. So it was roughly about 6 o'clock at night.
Peter Moore is an experienced shooter. In winter, at his home close to the Foster Township, his 2 large hunting dogs were badly mauled while on the chain. Later, this dog had to be destroyed. The attacker was large, powerful and silent. Only days later, Peter and 2 mates drove up a nearby bush track. What they saw stopped them in their own tracks. In full daylight, at 60 metres, they saw what they say resembled a puma.
Basically sunning itself, it looked like to me, just like you'd see a domestic cat.
And sleek and
black?
Yeah,
looked like it was freshly painted. It was shiny.
Michael Moss is an amateur researcher compiling a dossier of such sightings.
The farmers are claiming to see basically a big cat, predominantly panther-sized, leopard-sized animal, large animal, black, jet black.
Similar reports here date back 30 years, and farmer Ron Jones used to be sceptical of such stories. But in the past 2 years, more than 100 head of his cattle have either vanished or been found dead in adjoining bushland.
Last year, out of 40 breeding cows, my mother got 11 calves. The rest all just disappeared. The cows would stand at the edge of the bush and look into the bush and bellow, but they weren't game to go into the bush.
He's convinced puma-like animals are to blame.
Well, I've seen one at about 70 yards that I had a shot at with a rifle and I hit it. It went straight up in the air and turned round, went back in the bush. Couldn't find it. I know I hit it the way it jumped. It was only a .22 rifle. Another time I was out spotlighting and I picked one up in the spotlight. It was about 60 yards. It was a big fawny coloured cat. It was nearly as high as a strainer post, which was about 3'6" high. Would have been about 9–10 inches wide across the chest.
It fled before Ron could fire, but he says it resembled a puma or mountain lion, as seen here at the Melbourne Zoo. And he says it has the same distinctive and grisly style of killing.
When they kill, they grab them by the nose and they just take the piece right out of the nose, exposed right down to the jaw, and then they go in through the ear and eat the brains out.
Ron Jones says it can also completely eat an animal, even crushing and digesting the skeleton. One sheep farmer in this district lost close to 500 sheep in the past 2 years in similar fashion, and such reports stretch 100 kilometres to the east. But extensive trapping and baiting by the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources has failed to produce a single carcass of a big cat. And it maintains DNA testing of freshly killed stock has proven dogs and foxes are to blame. The Melbourne Zoo and DRNE head office say there's no evidence big cats exist. The department declined to speak about the issue on camera.
They're trying to deny their existence. It's time to get over that and admit there is something out there and they are dangerous.
They go back to the 1880s approximately. A lot of people I think they were introduced by the Americans in the Second World War as mascots, thrown into the bush when the Americans departed. But there's a lot of alleged sightings across Victoria earlier this century.
Stateline has learnt of one hunter who recently shot a puma-like animal with a high-caliber rifle. Though badly wounded, he could find no trace of the body. Some American wildlife authorities believe this is the work of a mountain lion, known to be silent, solitary, cunning and extremely elusive animals.
They're definitely dangerous, yes. If they can pull down a 400-kilogram cow and kill it, they're perfectly capable of killing a human being. There's no doubt about that.
Ron Jones says irrefutable proof of the existence of big cats is not far away.
It'll happen. I would say it'll happen in the next 12 months. It'll happen. And there's going to be a lot of red faces in the department when it does happen. But I just hope nobody gets killed before it does happen.